Aries, hello my love. Welcome to Lady of the Unknown Oracle. My name is Sophie and welcome to your March 2020 love reading. I know that we are coming to the end of March, but I hope you find that this message today really comes in at the right time for you. All right, for those of you who are brand new to the channel, I hope you enjoy your message today. And if you do, please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for loving on me, for supporting me, for making what I do possible. I adore you right back. Thank you so much for allowing me, Aries, to reconnect with you. Okay, my loves, we're going to go ahead and jump right into your reading. Please remember that this is a general reading, so this may or may not resonate with your current situation. If you find that this does not reflect your current experience, then by all means throw the entire reading out the window. If it's not for you, it's just not for you. Okay, if you find though that this does resonate very heavily and that this really speaks to you, I hope it provides you the clarity and guidance that you seek moving forward. We will be doing an extended reading after this reading where we'll go more in depth into the person that you're connecting with, their feelings for you, their intentions towards you, the advice to move through the situation and overcome the blocks either within yourself or between you and this other person, as well as what the long-term outcome is likely to be between you and this person, or just maybe even without this person, right? Depends on the messages. So without further ado, Aries, let's jump into the cards. We're going to start first by pulling a couple wisdom oracle cards. Then we're going to hop over to the Kipper deck where we'll try to kind of get a little bit more information surrounding the energies, and then we'll hop into a Celtic cross spread using the tarot, which will be fully clarified with another tarot deck. Okay, so we've got some stuff here to cover. Now, Aries, I just want to say, oh, and also for the extended reading, if you would like to join me in the extended, I'll leave a link down below, pinned to the top of the comment section below. Okay, almost forgot. Along with a link to my website in case you'd like to have a personal reading done. Okay, but Aries, so when I was, where is it? Here it is. Okay, so Aries, listen, when I was shuffling your cards, I had what I call card explosions. You guys may have seen other readers kind of shuffle and have like half the deck fly out of their hands. That is a thing, okay? You would think sometimes that it's just, you know, kind of being a little bit clumsy that day, and that's a complete and total possibility. But there are many times as well, if you're handling different signs and, you know, all in one day, 2 or 3 different signs all in one day, you can typically feel a difference in energies based on the energies and the sign that you are meditating on. Okay, you in particular had this card come up twice, jumping out. Okay, message in a bottle does talk about some form of communication, either that's on its way or that someone is thinking about, seriously thinking about delivering to you, right? Delivering some sort of message. So no place like home wants to come out. And I'm telling you, like, Aries, when I tell you your cards have just been blowing up, I mean, I couldn't shuffle these 4 decks neatly. You know, like we had jumper cards everywhere. So I feel like this is gonna be a big reading for you, right? Very clear cut, a very clear cut reading. No place like home, and what else? Fork in the road, under the deck, soulmates. Okay, so you are connecting with a soulmate, it looks like. 41 reduces to a 5. So while there's somebody who you do have a connection with, there might be some challenges in terms of where this connection might lead you guys. New life, 30 is a 39, reduces to a 12. Okay, reduces to a 3. So it's like you guys are in this weird middle ground of having almost stability with this person, but then any form of stability you have created with this person is being challenged. So it's annoying, right? Because you're right there. You know that something stable is possible with another individual, and for one reason or another, something keeps getting in the way. With new life and soulmates though, obviously just feel that energy, right? Just feel that energy. It's a very strong bond, and something in here is beginning to bud, okay? Something is going to, whatever has been in development between you and this person in terms of intimacy, communication, something that you guys may have been just like, kind of like dancing around the line of something, like expressing your feelings or you know, making the first move or something like that. Someone now is really getting to a point where they're realizing that if something is not said or something is not done, then what's going to happen to the connection is it's going to fade or it's going to weaken, and it's going to get to a place where this person really doesn't want to see it get to that place. The aim here is stability. The aim is to validate the connection and to move forward in a way that's stable and empowering. And whoever this is, they want to go the distance. Underneath is go the distance, right? 47. That's an 11. That's a master number. So it is about starting brand new, okay? So no place like home is a 5. Fork in the road is 13, which comes down to a 4. Yeah, so it's ironic, isn't it? Because we've got a home here, which typically feels like the 4 of Wands, which is a 4, which is talking about stability, but it's a 5, which reduces to, again, you know, it reduces to a 5, which is challenges. It also represents the Hierophant in the tarot, okay? So it is about safety and security and belief system, something solid, something secure. But then with the fork in the road being a 13 reducing to a 4, it's like something surrounding the home, something surrounding security that's being challenged in order to get to that 4, in order to get to that security, in order to get to a place that is comfortable and safe. Someone here needs to make a decision, and it's a hard decision, unfortunately, right? Because, sorry about that, it's about fighting social constructs, it's about fighting your belief systems, it's about fighting something that is trying to restrain you, some sort of, you know, just rules, regulations, you know, tradition, even for some, cultural differences, whatever the form of restraint is. It's not that it is an evil source in your life. However, it is suffocating you to the point where there's a need to reevaluate whether you want to move forward in alignment with those traditions, belief systems, or other people's opinions, or would you prefer to try to remold it, abandon some of them, whatever it is, right? There's a challenge and something is going to need to change in order for you and your soul partner to really move forward in the way that you're wanting. You or this person, right? But it does feel reciprocal with the soulmate card. This is definitely a strong connection. Look at this. You could be connecting with a Gemini, right? Lovers coming out. 15 reduces to a 6, so healing, right? Healing, reflection, meditation, right? But somebody, a connection here that just really heals you. Look at the doves. I can't help but look at the doves there, right? Beautiful. You and this person share a lot of passion, right? It could be for some of you, this started out purely physical or purely passionate, but then as time went on, you began to really enjoy the person's company, enjoy who they are, realizing that there's, you know, if you were looking for something that was only fun, you kind of screwed yourself into the corner, because this person makes you want to commit, or this person makes you want to leave certain old habits or ways of being behind. You can imagine yourself being in a family, like in a partnership with this person, being a true partner to this person in life. Let's see. So we've got, oh man, guys. Lovers with gift. Okay. This is just, why is this? It's like something comes out of the blue, unexpected. Main male and main female came out as well. So guys, there's a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy here. So whether you are opposite sex, same sex, okay? This is definitely a very beautiful, very harmonious connection between two people who really do complement one another. You know, but yeah, with love, let me see what this gift might be. So a gift is like a pleasant surprise, right? Something that you're not really expecting, but something that really fills your heart with joy. What is this gift? For some of you, this person, you and this person haven't had an actual physical encounter, but they would like to, right? They would like to see where things could go with you. Expectation, great fortune. So what this is, Aries, is this person, yeah, you might work with this person actually. As it stands right now, this person may work from home, right? They may be one of those people who kind of have like a day job, but then a side job. But this gift, right, has something to do with great fortune, expectation, and occupation. But ultimately, what this feels like to me is this person, they're expecting, they know that there's a pause, right? They know that there's a pause with that expectation, but what they're believing is that this distance that you guys might have is going to not only make your bond stronger, but in this time, you guys will be able to handle situations and elements in your respective lives and circumstances that will allow making whatever this decision is being able to really make it a clear-cut decisions. Because when you guys think about it, like in our day-to-day lives, when we have big forks in the road, it can be hard to dedicate ourselves to one path when we have so many other elements in our lives distracting us, right? It's hard to focus on school if, you know, we have to travel to go to our classes, which is, for example, it might be mandatory because they take attendance or something like that. But in order to be, the kind of spouse that you want or the kind of parent that you want, you would have to be home more frequently, right, than you are able to be because of school and work. You get what I'm saying? So right when you want to make this really big decision to dedicate yourself to something or to be something, it's always one thing or another that is like pulling and pushing you back and forth, trying to almost challenge your ability to prioritize, because everything feels important. So you don't get that space to really reevaluate and decide comfortably where you should reallocate. You just kind of stay afloat, right? Just to get some air, you just kind of handle everything and juggle everything, even at the expense of yourself. Now is a time where there is enough distance where you, Aries, and this person are able to kind of resituate, reorganize, and almost like when the time does become appropriate for you guys to reunite, you guys are going to walk into something much more abundant, right? Something that is going to have been worth the wait. Okay. I think if you and this person do not work together, what's going to happen is somebody is going to decide to devote themselves more. And if they felt at any point like putting themselves into the connection was a chore or too much, right? Just something that it was kind of like, oh, roll their eyes, like, I mean, I love you, but I mean, I'm tired, like, kind of almost not taking you for granted per se, but almost like, like making you feel kind of, well, I thought this was supposed to be fun. I thought you enjoyed me. And it's like, I do, but I mean, this is kind of tiring. It's almost like getting a rejuvenated sense of purpose within the connection, realizing, wow, if that's if that's how I felt being separate from my person for X number of weeks or months, now that I'm back in alignment with him or her, it's like, why did I ever think this was a bother? Why did I ever sigh? Why did I ever prolong a meetup? Why was I like that? Because I'm grateful to this person. I'm grateful that I have them in my life. And now that I am not worried about them or worried about me, and I'm able to really connect with them, it's one of those things that just, it adds more value back into the connection. Okay. So we're going to hop on over now to the tarot. Let's go ahead and pull the Celtic cross spread for Aries in love for March 2020. What's going on here, please, for Aries in love? Thank you so much, Aries, for being with me. If you are finding that this resonates so far, please remember to like and subscribe if you feel so compelled. I would appreciate it so much. So let's go ahead and get some cards out for Aries in love, March 2020, please. Aries in love for March 2020. Okay. I'm getting for many of you, you may have been seeing the number 4 quite a lot. 4 and 1, 2, 3. Cut. 4 and 1, 2, 3. Underneath the deck, you've got the King of Swords. Okay, so you could be connecting with a Libra, Aquarius, a Gemini. This is also speaking to being distant, but believing that there is something to be gained by the distance. This is also somebody who is generally a very straightforward person, right? The King of Swords tends to be somebody who is truthful, honest, very straight to the point, right? Even if it does hurt, even if the truth does hurt, this person doesn't go in trying to hurt anybody's feelings, right? You have people who are like, oh, well, I'm not mean, I'm just honest. No, your delivery was also very harsh. Like, you could have delivered that with a little bit more compassion, but you didn't want to because you're a mean person. That's why it was a mean message, right? You can deliver the truth and show that even though the truth is mean, the truth is harsh, you can still deliver it with grace and consideration for the person receiving the message, right? And that's the King of Swords in this position. The King of Swords just understands that sometimes the truth is a hard pill to swallow, and he just delivers it, gets to the heart of the matter, and does what can be done in order to make things right again. So almost like a justice type energy. Okay, so somebody here, Aries, y'all are killing me. So we're starting out with the 4 of Wands. So what were we talking about? let me get this spread out because yeah, so something here maybe someone may be feeling like the other, like their counterpart, is a bit selfish. Okay, they've done things to suggest that this relationship, this connection, is one-sided. Someone here could be leaving behind a Virgo or be actively dealing with a Virgo ex who is trying to, you know, shove themselves into your life. It looks to me like communication is coming in, guys. Okay, there's communication coming in. Could be connecting with a Pisces, a Taurus. Okay. I feel like I'm getting half the story right now. So let me pull out the clarifiers. For some of you, this is a third-party situation, but I'm getting for the overwhelming majority, if there was a third party involved, this is slowly, this energy here is slowly making the situation involving that other person more obvious that you cannot have everything. You can't have both, right? Maybe in the way that you were before, or the person that you were connecting with, the way they were before. Engaging in third-party business was kind of their MO, right? They felt comfortable doing that, but somebody realizes that for real growth and for real happiness, like genuine happiness, to truly preserve this connection, they need to focus solely on you. Because it does look to me, Aries, either you or the person you're connecting with is thinking about pain, right? You're thinking about a possible third-party situation, or believing on some level like maybe this is going to just be the source of pain at some point, and you'd like to talk about it, because in the block you do have someone here that might be you know, kind of selfish, right? They might be giving with the intentions of receiving, right? So somebody, just, you know, ladies, you know, you might go on a date with somebody and they pay for everything, but you can't help but get that feeling like they're only paying for things so that you can open up your schedule and be available every time that they want you. It's almost like you're giving, but not because you're giving out of the kindness of your heart. You're giving because you're waiting for the opportunity to ask for something. So it's almost like that, it's that power trip, you know? Someone's getting the feeling here like someone is doing good and putting in, but only because they are expecting back. Right? They're expecting back. Now, in the recent past, there was definitely some distance between you guys, a need to really think about what this connection could offer, even leaving a Virgo behind, or leaving behind just an individual because you realize that for your greater good, it was just the best decision for you. But there's a part of you, Aries, that's really convinced that you might just want to treat this, you know, though it is becoming more stable, you're almost tempted to treat this in almost like a lackadaisical way. Because you figure that in the end, you know, it's not going to go where you want it to. Again, because there's a challenge. There's a challenge in your beliefs. There's a challenge in what you want. There's a challenge in the way you've always done things. For some, this is directly challenging a marriage that already exists. Or perhaps even if you are single, it's challenging your belief system surrounding what a committed union even looks like. Okay? So overall energy for the clarifiers is the Three of Pentacles. So a partnership working together to create a strong foundation. It's about developing a skill set, right? Knowing that everyone has to, if you want to get a project done, you can't do it alone, right? Multiple people have to be involved, and everyone's got their own skills that they bring to the table. So you and this person, someone wants a strong foundation for you, with you, but they realize that they need to be an active participant. Okay, it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street, and they know that they have a role to play if they're going to make this work. Aries. So let me go ahead and take this out. All right, so in your starting position, you've got the Four of Wands, which speaks to stability. It talks to possibly, you know, your home life, building a home life with someone. It's funny because for me as a reader, there have been readings that I've done where the Four of Wands actually does depict some sort of enclosed space. So not necessarily a house. It can be a house, a room, right? An office space, a meeting place for people, right? It could be as big as a wedding ceremony or as small as a bedroom, okay? So the Four of Wands here is about somewhere where you can feel secure, somewhere where you can build stability or celebrate stability, celebrate union, something that feels safe and just blessed, right? Something that was worked on for a while. With the Tower card here, there's a feeling of something about this stability being rocked. For some, it's about the destruction of what was a stable situation. Something, if it wasn't actual destruction of what you guys had going, it was just a mental light up, right? Maybe for some of you where your security came from how wonderfully physical. For some of you, I'm getting that this Tower is, you know, kind of, the Tower can represent a phallic symbol, okay? So with this possibly being like a bedroom and the Tower being a phallic symbol that is exploding off the top, for some of you, this is about just very, you know, a very pleasing sexual experience with this person, right? So there could be something that interrupted your guys' physical contact, right? Or some sort of mental clarity that you had surrounding this situation, this stability that you share with this person, what you feel towards them, and this has rocked your understanding of what it is you even wanted, right, Aries? So someone maybe had you, something about what's happened recently is making you have a change of heart. It started physical, but realizing that this person's a great person, now you're catching feelings, or vice versa. Or just literally having a situation that you had set up and having something about it change unexpectedly. Whether that comes from an actual change, right? The suddenness of the virus, right? And you guys be safe, right? With this virus going around, I hope that you're all well, you know. But it can also just be an inner change, either for you or the person you're connecting with. Something just very unexpected makes you change now the way you even approach your guys' union. Okay. Now, in the block, you have the Six of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. So it's like somebody here, in an effort to block their heart space, are coming through as someone who is tempted to power trip, or they're already engaged in that power trip energy. But I do feel, because of the stagnance here, somebody is really, they're trying to keep themselves from that, right? They would rather give nothing to the connection than to give something that they know themselves well enough. They know that they're going to expect maybe too much in return. They know their fault here. They know their fault. So, you know, it's just about realizing that if it's not equal, then they can't give. And the only way maybe for some people they can give is if they acknowledge an emotional connection with somebody, and right now they're kind of stuck, or something has rocked them, right, Aries? So if it's you or the person you're connecting with, something has rocked somebody's understanding of this stability, rocked how they feel about it, disrupted what was going on, disrupted the home, disrupted the stability. Okay, they want to give to this, but right now there is something requiring deeper thought for them to actually move forward, either with connection or an active plan that they want to implement. Could be connecting with a Gemini here. So this is the extra card that comes with this deck, which I keep to represent an actual union, right? It could represent a soulmate union. You know, the Lovers can sometimes represent a choice. In this case, I eliminate the choice, and this to me just clarifies that it is actually a loving situation between soulmates. So on your mind, Aries, or on your person's mind, if you find that so far this reading represents the other person, now, for some of you, there could be somebody involved, and that is what disrupted this home space. That's what disrupted this stability, was finding out that there is indeed somebody involved, and somebody here doesn't want to appear like the bad guy. For some of you, this person could be, if there was somebody who got caught, Aries, for example, if I'm connecting with an Aries who found out that somebody had a third-party situation, you may find that this person will be distant from you for a little while. They are considering ghosting you, I feel. But in the Eight of Wands position coming into the near future, I do believe that there's going to be some semblance of closure before that happens. Something is going to move forward though, okay? But we'll get there. Right, so for some of you, there was a third party involved. However, there is just a feeling of pain, you know, a fresh heartbreak, right? Something just happened recently involving a soulmate connection. So maybe they did something to hurt your feelings, Or maybe for some, you know, it's about realizing what could have been had, but in order to develop upon the connection, more has to be done, and someone's hands may be tied in the situation, right? They want to, but they feel like they can't. And because home is such a, it's because home, the home place and stability is so prevalent in this reading. I feel like for some, this is about somebody who can't because they are building stability elsewhere. All right. Yeah, you see in the heart space, we've got the Three of Pentacles being clarified by the Five of Pentacles. So it's like you're missing that partner, right? You've got two people in this, you know, and it's like you're missing that one person. There's someone here who hasn't made it. There's somebody here who you want to build a connection with. That's what your overall energy is somebody who you want to connect with, someone who needs to participate to build this foundation, but they're absent, right? A need here to apply oneself, but instead of being able to apply oneself, they're out here just kind of fighting for survival, right? Something here has made somebody feel either rejected or like they have no options left. This could be you, Aries, right? Having high hopes for this person, but ultimately feeling like even though they would make a great partner, you can't do this alone, right? They would make a great partner, but if they don't extend, if they don't participate, then you're basically doing it all yourself, and that's not what this is about. Yeah, recent past, you could have been connecting with a Virgo. The Hermit, clarified by the Nine of Wands. So this is about going within, right? Trying to find some inner truths, illumination, withdrawing from a situation, withdrawing communication and participation from a situation so that you can decide in what direction you should move forward. But being clarified by the Nine of Wands is telling me that there was a certain level of exhaustion associated with this, right? Maybe tired of thinking so much, tired of giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, right? Tired of constantly having to pull away from this person because they're so indecisive and you're just tired of putting in all the work. You know, but it is definitely this feeling of trying your hardest to give something one more shot, right? Now, unfortunately, for some of you that are connecting right now with the same person that you were connecting with then, I am seeing that there was, you know, definitely an unfortunate situation where you did previously have a really beautiful connection, but it looked like this person is connecting with another person, right? And you, having kind of felt in the past that something was going on, is letting this person just go, right? You realize that this person, if they really wanted to be with you, they wouldn't have had you suffering alone for all this time. And if this is, you know, if you walked into your house catching this person, or if you realize because you found something or whatever the situation, you know, you're allowing this person to just go, you know? It's almost like this feeling of being fed up, right? It's this feeling of being fed up. For others of you, though, this was somebody who you left behind and you are feeling kind of awestruck, and this energy from the past is bleeding into your current situation because there is somebody who wants to give, but they're waiting for something. But here's the thing, Aries, I do feel like if the person you're connecting with is not giving in communication or in participation, and you've already done your part in making your interest known and you're, you know, wanting to move forward with this person with the Four of Wands, I imagine you guys are intimate in some sense, working on something, you know, then really the ball is in their court and there's not much left to do except let them come to you. I mean, it's not responsible for you. It's not something you should be taking onto yourself to do everything. And even in light of them being absent, still doing everything and still trying to reach out to them and still, you know, saying yes to meeting up with them. And still, it's like, no, let them miss you. If they're distant and you've already kind of put yourself out there and they're not responding back, that's on them. Oh yeah, so you see some of you guys are saying goodbye to what was a Ten of Cups situation, or at least you thought it was. There might be some illusion type energy about this. You've got Justice, so you could be connecting with a Libra, but this could also be just realizing, cut and dry, that what you guys had was great once upon a time, but has reached a conclusion of sorts, and that if you do want to move with this person within the connection, you'll have to move on knowing that a lot of work has to be done, right? It's kind of like the rose-colored glasses have been shattered here. You know, you realized something about this person. You realized maybe they're selfish or they have other people or they're unfair overall. And something about this is pushing you into a situation where now you have to make a decision for yourself to restore balance to the situation, right? That's the only way to grow. So either you grow by making it harder for this person to be selfish, right? Put your foot down, establish boundaries, and if the boundaries are not respected, push them out and say, look, then you're alone. I can't be in this. But for others of you, right, this could be definitely just deciding on a divorce and saying, look, you know, let bygones be bygones. Like, I want this over as quickly as possible because this is really just not what I signed up for. Okay. For others of you, though, where that is not the situation and you're quite happy with this person, it's just that physically you guys are not in the same vicinity. You can't be, right, with the quarantine and everyone self-isolating and things of that nature, right? I'm getting the feeling that there might be, you know, some suspicion surrounding where this person is at or what they're doing, who they're talking to. But in the near future, okay, I am seeing that this person, while they will be maintaining some sort of distance, they're not going to maintain so much distance that they're not going to speak. Communication will be coming in, but they're only going to give you the amount of communication they feel like they can actually give to you. Okay, so if they give you, for example, if they call you and they're only able to stay on the phone with you for like 2 minutes, it's not because they don't like you, it's because they want to touch base with you. They just don't have an hour to give to you. So they're giving to you what they can, hoping that at the end of the day, you're going to be able to kind of see past the limitation and see that they're trying. That's not to say for those of you who feel like you're definitely connecting with someone who takes you for granted to just accept what crumbs they offer, because that's not what I'm saying at all, right? And that's a different situation, but you can usually tell when somebody is just doing the best that they can given what they have. And I feel like coming in, that's what this person's going to do, right? They don't have much to offer in terms of pentacles, right? They don't have much to offer in terms of physically what they can provide. And maybe in a lot of ways, this person is still focusing on themselves, but they are willing to let you know how they feel. So honesty, honest communication will be coming in for you. And I feel like Aries, for what it's worth, it's going to be enough for you. Okay, I know for what it's worth, it's going to be enough for you, because I think right now, given the circumstances, that's really all you want is some validation to know that you're not wasting your breath on this person, right? So you could be connecting with a Cancer, a Leo, an Aries, a Sag. Be careful that you don't engage in selfish energy yourself. Okay, Aries? Because in an effort to break out of this stagnance, you might try to manipulate the person you're connecting with, but they are not going to have that. You might win in the short term, but in the long term, someone's going to eventually just say to themselves, I need to reconsider this connection. They might compromise, but they're not going to like the way it feels. They're not going to like the way it feels. So they might break loose of it later. And that's just saying intuitively, right? Maybe they choose the opposite, but you have the Five of Swords clarifying your outcome. So just be careful with that, right? Because you see yourself with the Hierophant energy and the Nine of Swords. So you could be connecting with a Taurus, but again, you're very much, you're like grappling right now with, again, your belief systems, what you feel is right. For some, this is a marriage, right? Maybe you're married to this person or would like to be married to this person, but there are certain commitments standing in the way. But it's about you looking, at your spiritual connections, your beliefs in tradition, what structures you want respected in your life, and where you want to take this. Nine of Swords indicates a lot of anxiety surrounding this inner conflict, right? Something pushing back against what you're trying to maintain stability around. But in order for you to create stability, you have to know what you stand for, right? Or you'll fall for anything. So you know that to move forward, you have to make a decision. And you want to make that decision now, but you can't without knowing what you're doing. So it's almost like you have to plan, but there's so much anxiety, Aries. So if this isn't you, this is the person you're connecting with. A lot of anxiety surrounding the situation. In the environment, you've got the Wheel of Fortune clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So you could be connecting with an earth sign, I'm getting. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Typically for such small energy like the Two of Pentacles, I don't typically get that. But I am getting here for some of you, Aries, you're definitely maybe getting someone like an earth sign ex coming back. That's weird. So we do have Virgo in the past, right? But if you guys had an ex, you guys might be receiving communication from them. I don't know why that was like airdropped into my brain just now. But with the Wheel of Fortune, right, talks about things that are out of your control, sudden events, sudden changes, even timing, right? And with the Two of Pentacles, there's some sort of juggling surrounding this timing. So it's the right now in the environment, it's like this is a moment of transition, right? Having a time limit or a timetable or some sort of expectation for when a decision can be made, but it's also talking about a transition, right? So while you're in between one stage and in between another stage, you're in the middle trying to kind of manage both of them while you figure out which you want to dedicate yourself to fully. There's an understanding, though, with how big this Wheel of Fortune energy is. There's an understanding here that you're not going to be able to juggle this for too long, whoever this is, right? A decision will have to be made pretty shortly. And I think that's why the Eight of Wands clarified itself, right? Came out twice. So in the hopes or fears, right? Your fears, you have the Eight of Swords along with the Knight of Pentacles. So you could be connecting with a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. Your fear here is that someone's going to figure it out too late. Okay, the Eight of Swords represents, you know, self-doubt, feeling limited. But you see how you have the sword right there, right? You can choose at this point. You can choose to walk out of this. But the fear here is that someone will choose to walk out of this. They'll choose to not let their fears drive them, right? They'll choose to move. They won't keep themselves tied up for so long, whether this is being tied up in a commitment or tied up in a situation that just compromises your ability to commit to someone. It's a decision that you have to make ultimately, because you have all the tools to get out of the ropes, but you have to decide it. And for some, you feel more comfortable in the environment that causes you pain because you're familiar with it versus embarking on the new, which because of this energy, right, fork in the road and things of that nature, there is the need for a change. So someone here might be holding their breath and they're kind of afraid. And with the fear position here, that could be either you're afraid of what is to come, right, the slow development that's going to come after you finally leave a situation behind to move into this new energy. But it might also be that you're afraid someone is going to figure it out too late, that by then, slowly but surely, you've already accepted a commitment from an earth sign, or you're already accepting a commitment to work on yourself or to go back to school. You'll already be in the motion or the process of creating something new, and it's going to take a long time, and you're going to look at this person and be like, you know, you really should have just been here earlier. You really just should have been here earlier, because now that you're not, you know, the ship has sailed and I'm working on new things. You're too late. Because you love this person, you want them to make the right decision, or the decision just that you feel like is going to really be productive for you guys moving forward as quickly as possible. But this person is hesitating so much that you almost question whether it's real, right? Whether they even really want it. And in the outcome, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so you could be connecting with a Pisces here. Okay, the Hanged Man talks about compromise, right? It talks about enlightenment. Taking a moment to suspend all beliefs, suspend all thoughts, give yourself an opportunity to kind of clear your mind and start from scratch. Try to find the answer within, right? Try to find the answer within. But basically everything is on pause, right? No real communication, but it's because someone is trying to figure out how they can best commit to this. And the thing is, with the Chariot, the Five of Swords, and the King of Wands coming in to clarify, right? This does have to do with moving forward, making some sort of movement in a direction. But be careful, because like I was saying to you, Aries, if you're not careful with this Five of Swords energy, you might find yourself in a position of antagonizing the person that you're connecting with, because this is your energy here, right? So you could find yourself in an effort of trying to get them down from this. By trying to get them down from this energy of being, you know, no communication, no participation, you might result to manipulation and maybe ruffling their feathers a little bit and just making them essentially want to walk away from the commitment. They may for a short time compromise, right? They might compromise to satisfy you, but ultimately what they will be doing in the meantime is preparing for when either this does break up itself, or where they can go to find satisfaction when you're not around. Like it's unfortunate, but that is the feeling that I'm getting here. Because with the Hanged Man and the Five of Swords together, right, the five of Swords along with the Hanged Man could indicate that somebody is doing what's necessary just to kind of get someone off their back, right? They're compromising, they're in an uncomfortable situation because they realize that the greatest good, the best way to handle the situation is to just give the person who's crying what it is that they're crying about. And then when they have time alone, they'll go and pursue their other delights, right? They'll pursue their other person or whatever it might be. So not to say that you are at fault, Aries, because this could be reversed, but sometimes we do get tempted to push people into making certain decisions, and it's not unreasonable to believe that when someone is uncomfortable, they seek comfort in other places. This is why communication is so important, right? Which I do believe you're going to be getting some form of, honest, truthful communication. And if you are fulfilled with that, you should be, okay? You should be. The only thing that I can see though, and again, because we're getting two very different storylines. For those of you who are connecting with somebody who is not good for you, toxic, someone that you're trying to create fairness and balance with, and you're hoping that communication is going to come in regarding either a divorce or communication regarding much needed distance or truth, just to have honest conversations about what the future holds. Be careful, because if you're connecting with a Cancer, a Pisces, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, if you feel like if they're the person who you caught in something, they are going to say that they're going to compromise, but what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for a new situation later down the line, right? So they will be lying. They'll say what they need to say to convince you that they are on board, but their motives are pointing to a different direction, because you could be the one here really thinking about whether you should stay, whether you should go. Is this really the type of marriage you thought you were going to have? Because now you're in counseling and this person says that, that they are a changed person, but in reality, you're not even sure to believe them. And you're just like, what am I doing? And then they say, don't worry, I'm working on the marriage. But then it turns out that they're working on the marriage when it's called upon them, right? When the appointments come up for the counselor and when the time really requires them to stop what they're doing to go and work on the relationship. But then every time that they're not physically or mentally required to be wrapped up in something marriage related, they go off and they start kind of thinking about when their willpower runs out, when they're no longer able to hold this facade in place, where will they go? Okay, and that could be the source of the conflict, because we are getting a lot of conflict, instability in this reading, right? So whether you're working from the ground up in a new connection towards stability, or working from the top down from a commitment and working back down to just getting back to basics of trust and honesty and all of that, no matter which direction you're coming from, back down to the fore, there's some conflict, okay? Conflict between people, conflict within yourself and the ideals surrounding the commitment. What do you do? What do you not do to preserve what was supposed to be an ideal situation? It's really a call right now to delve into whatever this Tower moment was for you that really disrupted the Four of Wands that you had going on, right? And really asking yourself, is it worth the compromise I'm prepared to make? Or am I just prepared to make that compromise because people tell me that that's the right thing to do, or because I've been brought up to believe that that's the right thing to do, when in reality I really just want to cut loose and I think I would be better for it, our kids would be better for it, or just overall, yeah, we had a great connection, but unfortunately that's all it was, because the person I was connecting with was not ready for commitment, so let me just leave it there. It really just depends, okay? Because I am seeing that someone here is not giving, but there's the potential here for growth. We do have a storyline here, guys, Aries, of a potential loving connection that just really, you just need to be patient, right? Someone here is going to just communicate with you and do the best that they can, and you just have to resist the temptation yourself to step out, if that is kind of a thing that you were thinking of doing. If you feel like this person is a good person and they are wanting to be with you, and it's really just you having to evaluate whether you want to be with them, like monogamously, then that's what you need to work on, But there is a lot of potential here for love, Four of Wands, Ten of Cups. For some of you, you're moving away from it, but for some, you're moving towards it, and it's just a process. It's a process in the making, okay? Okay. Aries, so I feel like this is the end of our reading, okay? This is the end of our time. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the extended reading, where we'll go more in depth into the person that you're connecting with, their feelings towards you, their intentions towards you, as well as the advice moving through the situation, as well as what the long-term outcome is likely to be between you and this person, or without this person, right? Spirit always has a way of delivering the message that's needed in that part of the extended, so we'll see what comes up. I'll leave the link to the extended in the description box below, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section below, along with a link to my website in case you would like to book a personal reading with me. If you'll join me there, I will see you in a bit. And if not, I will see you next time, Aries. I love you so much. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you enjoyed this reading. And until next time, just know that I am loving you with all of my heart, okay? I love you so much. Bye.